here is a playbook for 10 drivers of success in China. So the first thing, iteration speed as strategy. And this I'm now moving very much from a country lens to almost a company and brand lens, and we'll bring this back to what Indian starters can have. So you have that at the bottom, use case for Indian starters. So what China does is dramatic innovation and speed. So let me give you a specific example from my old life. We used to have a brand called Mofree. Reckitt still has a brand called Mofree in America. This brand was a brand of supplements. It does, glucosamine, chondroitin, these kind of things. And a very nice, solid brand, $100 million kind of business in America, growing well, 5, 6, 7%. And has a strong multinational kind of innovation pipeline, like 1 or 2 or 3 big innovations a year, brand restage, like that. So when we launched it in China, we started with cross-border. The Chinese team and the Chinese, there's a very interesting Chinese partner, basically said, listen, we need at least 5 innovations in every segment of this thing every year. And we were, as a company, or the Americans were like, oh, that's too much. Why would you need that? Because how can you even execute it? And they're like, look, I know some of these things can die, but we need to do this. So what happened was we pushed the thing, and eventually we got a pipeline of 5, and the next year 5, and then 10, and then 15, and 50% of these things died. But now think what happened. You had, let's say, 2 products to begin with. Now you added 5 in the first year. In America, you added 1. So in America, you had 3. But in China, you added 5, 2 died. So now you had 5. The year after, China now had 7. America had 3. The year after, China had 12. Over a 5-year period, it diverged dramatically. And because for each product, you get learnings, you get insights, you get some consumer awareness, you find a way to, you start asking the question, how do I bring my range together? What is the higher order benefit? Which one should I promote? How should I promote? You end up building a much stronger ecosystem with much more insights. And because, so there is this very old experiment. The experiment is there are 2 groups of students. They are both given the same amount of clay. One group of students is told that your job, my friend, is you're in competition. Your job is to make pots with this clay. And if you make more pots in kilograms of pots, you will win. The other group is given a computer and CAD software and a design expert and told, we are going to make the most beautiful pot. Whichever makes the most beautiful pot is going to win. Whenever this experiment is repeated, guess who wins and makes the most beautiful pot? It's always the first group. Because it's one thing to design a pot, it's totally another thing to make it. And in the act of making 50 pots, 100 pots, you realize what is the most beautiful pot, and you become an art form on how to make it, rather than to visualize it. So what ends up happening is that these companies are executing so much and so fast and building those learnings in-house. And that causes these rapid product cycles. So Luckin Coffee, screwing Starbucks. Starbucks share is down from 60% to I don't even know what it is, 6% maybe. Like it's a disaster. And why is that? Is that because Luckin is a better coffee? No, I think I would say it similarly. But they have so much innovation. 1 week they have a Baijiu flavored coffee. 2 weeks later they have something different. All of these short life cycle. They do a Baijiu flavored thing. They sell $10 million in the first 2 hours. And
wow.
And on they go, right? So this rapid product cycle with instant feedback loop and real-time R&D. So R&D is not something sitting making a plan for 4 years later. R&D is like, I need 10 products. Here is the consumer feedback. It's coming to you real time. I need this converted into a new product next week. And
so Adi, on this, we've seen brands in India, and I don't know I don't think we were this fast, but सब ब्रांड की शुरुआत ना ऐसी होती है. Like you iterate to the answer. Shantanu अलग है. Shantanu had this mind-blowing razor that took 1.5 साल to design and come out, and it was like a work of art. And he had this young kid called Deepu, who was like कि यार लोग गधे हैं, समझ नहीं पा रहे हैं करके कि हमने क्या ताजमहल रेजर बनाया है. And I'm like थप्पड़ मारने का मन कर रहा था उसको, मेरे को एज अ बोर्ड मेंबर, कि भाई मतलब no one's buying this 2,800 rupee product. Just get back to reality, right? But anyway, that's a separate story. Let me not, right? Ki हमारी शुरुआत ऐसी होती है. बट अब क्या हो रहा है ना, लेट्स गो बैक टू द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन आई स्टार्टेड विद कि अब कंपनी बड़ी हो रही है and I'm being told you have to slow down. You have to bring high quality products because now you're a large brand. You can't afford to screw up, right? Things have to become a process, etc., etc. At the same time, we have to now still how do we not lose what got us here while trying to
Again, you have to structure it so that it is the system that does it. So I'll come to this point and I'll bring it back. So if you look at the second point, it's platform native commerce. So you have so much innovation. Where do you get the ideas from innovation? You get it from the platform that you are closely integrated with. So when I was in China, we set up this whole e-commerce thing, which is, so by the way, the Reckitt China business today, so Reckitt in India has started in 1930, massive business. It used to be, it still is a very successful business. Reckitt China, when I went there in 2008, was a $15 million business. At that point of time, India may have been, I don't even remember, 300 million, 400 million. Today, the Chinese business is much bigger than the Indian business. And not just that, it is growing at multiples faster. Like not 1x faster or 2x faster, more than that. Right? Why is that? Well, the answer is...
Arjun. Arjun is the answer.
Arjun is the answer, partially. But the other answer is what Arjun and the team there have enabled. So they have built a business which is sitting on platforms. So for example, when I was there, the Alibaba store was massive. Today, the TikTok store is much bigger than the Alibaba store. They have live streaming there's a 5-story building which is full of rooms, which is 24/7 live streaming, 50 rooms all the time. And
this is in Reckitt. Reckitt is doing live streaming.
Like Reckitt is doing live streaming like you would not believe it's doing live streaming. It is...
Wow.
So I haven't been there, of course, and I would, even if I was, I would not tell you exactly what, but I can tell you this, that you study what these companies are doing and you realize that if you think of TikTok, right? People are thinking it's not a great platform, but TikTok is a platform which compresses your entire, or Reels is a platform which compresses your entire cycle. You can get acquisition, you get people, you can get interest because you can give them something new. You can get direct click to purchase in one platform in 30 seconds. Of course, you're going to iterate on that like crazy and have a different product every 30 minutes and have a different presenter. Someone was telling me that when they do these things, they are down to the level that when they open a bottle, what sound it will make and how much conversion whether it'll open with a plop or a top or a tick, makes a difference in the bloody conversion.
My God.
It is a art form masquerading as science, in the sense that what they've done is you've got pipelines of data and information which is coming back in real time every day to the sales and marketing and also the product teams for the product iteration to happen and the communication iteration to happen in real time. And you can do these iterations because the cost of the iteration is nothing. Anyway, you know that out of every 1,000 TikTok videos, 990 of them are going to be useless. So it doesn't matter. So you can try whatever you want.